It is that time to update my top 10 LR tier list here. Now, actually, I saw some people talking about and posting their tier list yesterday, so today I'm going to go ahead and have mine pushed out. I was planning on doing it today anyways, but there are a lot of changes, I think, compared to this current tier list from the last one I did, which, from when I looked it up, was in September. When the Super Saiyan Future Gohan and Sword of Hope Trunks came out. That was in September, so there has been a lot of like changes to how I feel about units and the highest difficult content. We gotten fully, I think, used to how Fusions Zamasu works. You know, Omega's still there. The Dismal Future Red Zone in general. New units have come out, new setups, and it has changed my ideology on a lot of these characters in terms of how I had them before and how I would rate them now. But the main reason for this tier is because we did get a new LR, the LR Super Saiyan Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks. Obviously powerful enough to be on this top 10 tier list. I think they are very, very good. And we'll just hop right into it. So, my number 10 spot. This was actually kind of close. I think there's a couple of characters you could slide in here at 10. It was actually one of the more decisive spots for me. But I decided to put the 8th anniversary Dragon Ball Z Duel here. I think you could put, like, I would say, no, not you, you're higher for sure. I would say any of these 4 characters, actually, to be really honest, you could put in number 10. But I would personally have the Dragon Ball Z Duel at 10. I feel like, in terms of, like, not only the payoff of what they're doing, but in terms of, like, their necessarily, like, kind of like their consistency too. Like, if we're compared to Ultimate Gohan, consistency wise, I would prefer him over him, and the ability to slide these guys on like any team setup really I think is very, very important. And then these guys, big issues like Fusion Zamasu really kind of like they're still good, but in terms of like, you know, ranking them on like top 10 tier list, like at this point we have to consider like Fusion Zamasu, these guys could struggle even in the Omega fight. These guys could have some issues on the turns where they cannot dodge, because their dodge only activates after the attack, which is really, 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 really unfortunate for them. I really wish that was not the case, that their dodge activated only after they did attack. But that's the case with them, so that does suck a little. Anyways, talking about this character, it's really this version. Like, you can get this very instantly if you can. Honestly, if you fall under 50% HP, you enter the fight with this guy. Like, that would be really good for you. The weakness of this character is this base form, I think. A little bit weaker defensively, but a good thing about all these fights right now is that they're all like they're all in type. So like, you know, that also has, you know, an effect in some of the units placement on this tier list. I think all these like int bosses like existing, Fusion Zamasu, Omega, the Super Saiyan 3, almost a Super Saiyan 3, the Rose Goku Black, even like, you know, the Goku Black and Zamasu fight has an int phase starting off, right? So like there's so many int fights, int type fights. It's like if it was just like one int boss, maybe it'd be like, no, not really, obviously, but like there's like multiple of these bosses, which really help physical characters out a lot, especially those who may be a little weaker defensively. They'll have type advantage in all the hardest fights in the game, especially a character like this. You know, by the time he reaches the final phase against physical Fusion Zamasu, he'll have enough defense to take normals after all the stacking that they're able to do. They do tons of damage for free, very easy to get the damage off for these guys. And then the standby skill is just so unbelievably powerful. This Vegeta is literally invincible. And then the Spirit Bomb, it's still like one of the harder hitting attacks in the game. Like straight up, the Spirit Bomb, the Super Spirit Bomb, it's disgusting. They're on a lot of good teams, so you can slide them on. I feel like this character has always been a little downplayed, I think, by the community. And I not for like terrible reasons, but I think people don't understand the value of this Goku Vegeta base form part of the card. So much value in this part of the card. I think it's very, very important. And I always felt that way, right? Even when the 8th anniversary was first a thing, right? And it's nice for me to have him on this tier list, because I mean, this is aesthetically, this is one of my favorite cards that released this year. Easily too, right? But I don't know, again, if you want Ultimate Gohan at 10, sure. If you want the Blue Fusions at 10, sure. If you this guy, okay, let's go. You know, I'll say it, this guy's not on the list. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, he's not on the list. Sorry, it is what it is. Wah, wah. Frieza Zamasu is at 9, which you may be thinking, are you insane? No, I don't think I'm insane. I think people would rate him higher than I am, maybe. But maybe not. I've really, like, soured in this character a little, and I was talking about it with some people, but it's just, like I was saying with all these, I keep saying physical, with all those end bosses, is like this guy type disadvantage. The first turn, he's invincible, and he's looking really, really good. But even, like, on this turn after, like, with 60% reduction, like, this guy is a character who wants to be sitting in slot 1. I almost feel like sometimes his defense is not as good as it should be, to be honest. Offensively, this guy can be really, really good, though. And I would say, as, like, his design, personally, design only wise, I think he can even go up to, like, 6 on this tier list based on the characters I have. But I can't, or like 7 maybe. I can't, just because his team is really not it. He wants very specific villain teams. Like, you're not running Fuse Fighters superclass characters with this guy. Like, Worldwide Chaos is the main category you're gonna pull from this guy's leader skill. You know, if we take a look at Worldwide Chaos again, Fuji Zamasu really good. Boo is like an okay unit. Like, if we talk about the characters, I would say is like top tier. Fuji Zamasu. LR Rose Goku Black. Scrolling down, my junior. Scrolling down. Who else is here? Eijo Zamasu's EZA. And then, yeah, that's like it. Everyone else is like a decent character, or, you know, like Dodge or Die or subpar or something like that. Like, you know, Guasu Zamasu in this team. You have to throw like in Zamasu is like a solid option. Like, he's a good sub EZA. But like for a sub EZA, he's good. Just generally, he's like a decent character, right? So I just, yeah, it sucks. I really would like to rate him higher, but I just, like, if we compare him and Sword of Hope Trunks, which is who I have at 8 now, I feel like this guy is just better molded for the difficult content. Well, he's another physical character, so there you go, right? That's a big thing. But he has so many better setups, and it's like the flexibility of where you could put this guy in these teams is so high, because he doesn't need like specific partners really. He has the most bread and butter basic Super Saiyan, prepare for battle, fierce battle, legendary power, golden warrior. Like, this link set is so basic, and he's just very straightforward. I think the additionals, you know, great chance right here. The high chance right there, you can miss them for sure, and that's why he's not higher on the list, right? He is RNG dependent. But I think, like, the flexibility of this guy being able to work on so many of these different top tier teams. The Super Saiyans team right now especially is a new team, really, really powerful. You could put him on the superhero battle wits team, Orange Piccolo. He will activate Orange Piccolo's, you know, active skill that helps. Earthbred Fighters, he could just be thrown on their Power of Wishes. He could just be thrown on their Bond, a Parent, a Child, Battle of Fate. Like, so many of these top tier teams. And, you know, let's say Vegeta's family becomes top tier later. You just throw him on there. You know, even Future Saga, Time Travelers. Like, he leads Time Travelers. Like, Time Travelers is a good team right now. Future Saga, like, he's on so many of these good teams, and he's so basic that you just throw him on these teams. Like, even in Omega, he stacks up defense, and then if you're able to get this guy out, he's cracked. Like, this Sword of Hope Trunks by himself, like, is disgusting. Like, he's like top 5 level when he's in this specific form. It's this guy that kind of holds him back, right, and from being higher. But if we're comparing the two, I just feel like Trunks is in a much better spot. Well, I think Zamasu's design is better as a character. I don't think I could find it in myself to, I wonder if I could like separate the layers here, maybe like that. I don't think I could find it in my heart to actually just put them on this list like above Trunks right now. I mean, if Fusion Zamasu got the team he deserved, I think we could talk a little more. But it's like a thing where it's like the setup you need to run him on holds him back a lot. And then, like I said, with all these end bosses running around, is very, very funny. So that does suck for Zamasu, but Trunks is looking really good. Now, I know a lot of Trunks fans will not like this, but I do have the Blue Goku and Vegeta above Sword of Hope Trunks. Now, the reason why, it's kind of simple, honestly. I probably should just put you back here. It's very, very simple. This character I just think is gonna be more consistent for you. I like the leader skill better. Like, this leader skill is absolutely cracked, right? Offensively, Sword Hope Trunks is definitely better. And honestly, you know what? At the end of the day, if you want to say Sword Hope Trunks is better than this guy too, I'm kind of like more lenient to even that. Like, you could do this, and I'm like not like saying you're crazy. Like, I wouldn't like be like, oh, you're absolutely wrong. I don't agree. I think this character is definitely better. But I can see arguments for it. I just feel like this character's like slot 1 viability is so... It's just gone more and more important as Dokkan's been messing up so many of these new releases and just not giving slot 1 characters that are viable. That like whatever team this guy could be run on is like, you do need another Future Saga ally, but that's not really tough. There's a lot of obviously really good Future Saga allies. Sword Hope Trunks himself, Future Gohan, Vegeta Trunks, right? You can even throw LRVB on some of these teams. There's some other good characters on here. In Future Gohan, Guasu Zamasu, right? There's a bunch of setups where you'll be able to get a Future Saga, character. And if you're running him as a leader, you don't even need another one because he activates for himself. Obviously, the issue with this character is the fusion condition. I think the turn condition is the biggest issue. Fifth turn from his start of turn is very bad. It should have honestly just been like, with seeing how all these other active skills are, this should have been turn 5, and then this should have been turn 3. And it's just like turn 5 and turn 3, not from their first turn. But it's like, when you get Vegeta out, Vegeta's really good as well. I don't think it's like that difficult to like aim to get Vegeta out if you want to. But I feel like, especially recently with how powerful these teams have been getting offensively, like, you kind of melt these fights so fast that's like, even though you don't get Vegeta, this character's value is so high that you have so many characters on the team that will be able to help carry the damage for you. Which, at the end of this is a defensive character, I think, in slot 1, obviously, the 50% chance to dodge, the guard. They have like 500-600k defense in slot 1 or so with guard, plus the 50% dodge chance. Like, that's, I think people don't understand how good like value wise that is, right? And then there are so many of these teams that you could also just throw them on, which is why I have them above also Fusion Zamasu. I remember I had this character above Fusion Zamasu in release, and people didn't like me for that, or like that I did that. I feel like people kind of see it better now, maybe, but I don't know. I could easily see people still want Fusion Zamasu at 7, like I was saying. I think you could switch any of these characters around, but yeah, I like this. I like how this is looking right here. I do wish that my only gripe with this character, I think they could have done more damage in slot 1. I think they held back a little bit too much on the damage aspect of this character in slot 1. They could have definitely done more. But this guy is, if you are able to get this character out, he is super insane, and I don't want to like also not count that, because I feel like people want to like ignore this guy. The Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta exists, and his overall utility with the damage reduction, he can have the guaranteed dodge. He's doing like a billion supers. The support right here is also really good. And I think people want to try and ignore that doesn't exist, and that you like 0% of the time you see that, which is not true. You can definitely aim for that. Next, I have the LR androids, which you can like, it's kind of crazy. The LR androids at 6. And at first I wasn't really thinking about them, but then I was looking at legendary power, like, and I was like, I saw the banner here. Actually, I was looking at the easiest because I opened this to make sure. Okay. Did I not see the banner there? I guess I'm just absolutely crazy. The wiki hasn't introduced. I guess. How did I notice it, man? I guess I just saw them here. Whatever. I saw them like right here, right? I guess I was looking at the LRs available. I mean, I had them in mind, to be fair. Like, obviously they're very good, but I was just like looking at it, and it's like right now they're just. I mean, they have the let's compare these two, right? They have the 50% dodge chance. I think this character is a stronger slot 1 character. Arguably better leader skill, but I think this character having the supports on top of like the triple super chance, they're doing much more offensively, and I think getting Andrew 16 out is also low-key just a lot easier because it's not even turn restricted. It's just You have the two Android allies. You can get 16 on like their first turn. And Android 16 is, I think, what really pushes the cake. Because these guys are like, I think the Goku and Vegeta, like, defensively are better than this character. But I think the value this character is providing with the support and everything is higher than what the Blue Goku and Vegeta is overall. And then 16 is much easier to get out. And I mean, to say that Android 16 is insane is an understatement. Once he supers and he gets like 2-3 super attacks, you do need a full Android rotation, but you're using this character in an Android's team, right? He's like tanking every super attack in the game, and he's doing like 18 to 20 mil attack stats. He also is guaranteed critting on the first turn you exchange with him. Because I mean, you have to be under 66% HP when you exchange with him or facing a cell. So no matter what, he's always going to be guaranteed critting at least on that very first turn. And then he's like double supering, triple supering, and his defense is like 2 mil. They made the 16 just actually stupid good. And these guys, again, they're doing like 11 mil attack stat into like 7 mil, double 7 mil. And their defense is like 700k with the 50% chance to dodge for the most part. And again, even if you lose the dodge right here, it doesn't matter because you only lose the dodge when you get exchanged into 16 most of the time. And by the time like you return back after 16, like the fight's over. So like, that doesn't matter. Oh, I spoiled this. I didn't mean to spoil it, but yeah. I have him at 6 here. Cool. I guess you guys see at 5. I do have the LR Super Saiyan Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks. And I'll put this character at 4 here, the GT Duo. I think that these characters are kind of similar in terms of like, if we go like very basic design where you want to get a lot of these additional attacks. Like they have damage wise, these characters like are very, very high damaging. Now talking about these guys, I mean, if you have them in their really good scenario, there's a situation where they're super effective against all types, doing like a 20 mil attack stat, then doing like 4 10 mil attack stat additionals or something like that. And obviously that's all super effective. Or on the active skill turn, you have the active skill with these attack stacks from the previous turn, and then they guarantee crit, and then they're doing like 5 supers potentially. Like the output that this character has and the potential damage that they could do is like, I think their potential damage is arguably like the highest on the list, or even you could say even most efficient, maybe even, because it's like you can get that like all on turn 1 and turn 3, right? So a lot of these characters need to build up towards that, or you know, like the Spirit Bomb needs to like build up towards that. This character is like straight up like, yeah, we're cooking. But I think what can hold this character back is I feel like there's definitely a gap in power between these two, by the way, like for sure. Like there's like a little gap right there. I don't think it's like, you know, like oh like a canyon gap, but there's like a little space right there that I would say does need to be accounted for. These two, I think it's like, I feel like you could do this maybe if you really want, but I wouldn't agree. But I think like that's like the closeness these two are kind of. I don't like the orb changing though. I think the orb changing, not necessarily a fan of them needing in key spheres as well specifically. But outside of that, I mean, you could use them on super power wishes very easily. Super Saiyans, movie heroes, even transformation moves, final trump card. Like they're on a lot of these top tier 200% leaders go teams. So yeah, this character, I mean, we've used them at this point. A lot of us have either seen gameplay of them very recently, so I don't think I have to go maybe in as depth necessarily. I don't know. Well, that's kind of the opposite because they're brand new, right? Their team is also really good. I mean, like, you have a lot of the characters that are on this tier list. Again, like, if we take a look here, Super Saiyans, we have them. We have Sword of Hope Trunks on here. Actually, well, that's it for now. I guess I'll fill in number 3, Future Gohan is another character on this tier list, right? So we have, like, what, 3 top 10 LRs on this tier list, right? We have that new support Gohan. That support Gohan's really good. This AGO one that got his EZA, the World Tournament one. This guy, very, very powerful. We have the Esther Carnival Goku is a decent option, I guess, right? Tech Carnival Goku could work here. Goten and Goten's really good. AGO LR Gohan, Broly Trunks. Like, there are a lot of nice characters in it. You could probably look God Goku, obviously. I mean, God Goku probably could fit on this tier list too. Like if we're talking about like top 10 units of the game, God Goku I think could fit on here. So, yep, this character is just very also basic with links. I like them. I think they're really good. Their explosive power is almost unmatched. Like turn 1 is their character that hits harder than them. Like just turn 1. Like if is there a character that hits harder than them when they get 9 key spheres to get the 3 additionals? I don't think so. Probably not. They just do so much damage. It's kind of crazy. And again, because a big thing is that they're super effective. So like no matter what the boss type is, they'll be fine. One other weakness for them is AoE a little bit on turn 1, but yeah. No, I just like juice them really bad, like really majorly. You may be thinking, okay, why is this character above him? This character kind of sucks against AoEs. Turn 1, yeah, the character doesn't really do that well against AoEs. I just think the value of the standby is too good. And that's really my biggest argument. I think the standby value here, being able to protect the entire rotation is way too good. Way too good, right? Being able to impact the entire team, I think is like where I would separate this guy. And maybe you can even say like there's even like a little bit of a gap here if you want to say even. Just a tiny bit. I mean, I don't know, because you could also do this, but this character doesn't have a way to influence the team. I feel like that this character does with the standby. Like being able to like to say no, we don't die to the boss is just like crazy, and that's like at will. Like you could decide when you want to do that because it's a standby skill. And then this character, once you're able to build up the reduction, especially, they're stupid good. And you could argue, consistency-wise, they're probably a better damage dealer than this character, too. Leader skill-wise, probably better as well. I would say Power Wish's Battle Phase, like a stupid leader skill. This character is super mega good. Great link set as well. A lot of teams that they're really good on that are top tier. I mean, we know how good the GT Goku and Vegeta is. Stupid good. Future Gohan, again, another character that with the domain ability up, if you're able to get that, this guy could basically just, it's like you win turn 5. Like you get the domain ability, you just do too much damage to extreme class enemies. Like damage received by extreme class enemies 30% is, that's a pure buff again, like, but you know, so it's really stupid. It's just so dumb him having that ability. The only issue now is that he changes in key spheres to S tier key spheres, so like he changes all like the Super Saiyan trio. He changes all their spheres, so that's really funny if you're running one of the team together. But yeah, this guy's almost, again, just another very strong slot 1 character as well. He's just stupid. He's doing so much damage too. Just very easy, like no restrictions at all in his kit. Just throw him on a team and he cooks. I like this guy a lot. Now, I was talking with people. And this one was kind of influenced by seeing, but I did see Truth's tier list, and I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it for a while. Bulma and Orange Piccolo. I think I'm putting Orange Piccolo first. Ningen also had me thinking about this. I see Ningen's tier list, and I think Ningen has Piccolo above Bulma, right? And yeah, I was always like, you could put Piccolo on 1 if you want. And I think, you know, just talking with a lot of people today, I'm thinking about putting Piccolo at first. It's like tough. It's like I almost really still want to put Bulma at first because she's helping the entire time, like all the time. But like, I don't know, seeing a lot of people really boost for Orange Piccolo recently, I think a big reason since the last tier this as well, Superheroes team did get better, right? If you take a look here, I mean, we got the blue Goku and Vegeta right here. We got physical Sword of Hope Trunks right here added to the team, right? And those are 2 pretty big characters to add to the team, right? And I feel like, you know, Tournament of Power stuff is gonna happen. Like, look at these upcoming EZAs. You're gonna, like, next year, like, you're gonna EZA, you're gonna EZA, you're gonna EZA probably, you're gonna EZA, like just 4 LRs that could just be top tier in this team as well, which is really stupid. I mean, Beast Gohan, whenever we get that, you like add him to this team like an actual LR Beast Gohan, it's gonna get crazy. And then I feel like this character is probably just gonna outage even Bulma, because like they're probably less likely to replicate what this is in the future than what this is, the multi-turn support. I feel like we're gonna get characters that'll do multi-turn support, like or something like that, right? And I just think Orange Piccolo. Another thing is you could run 2 Orange Piccolos on the team with the 200% leader skill. You can't for Bulma. If Bulma was like 200% power of wishes, I think these would be a lot different. Obviously, like, oh, like, yeah, well, you make her better and she's better, right? You know, but I think the ability of you being able to run 2 Orange Piccolos and have 2 of the turn 3 giant form active skills, and he's also just able to work on so many of these teams. He's also supporting, by the way, as well. This is the all ally support. Yeah. I don't know. It's just like Superheroes is also the safest team in the game because solely of this character. Like that matters. That matters quite a lot. Yeah. I'm also like convincing myself in this video. I like this. I think this is what I'm gonna do. Yep. Super Saiyan 4 Goku. He's not on this list because it's not his time to shine right now. He's good against the Omega fight, but I think these Dismal Future fights, like a lot of them, he just looks like a fraud in. Maybe if we get like fights that are longer during the anniversary, we could talk about moving this guy up. Another thing is that he doesn't really have like I think like a really good setup that he'd want to be used on. I really don't like him on the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 setup. I'd rather run like a full Heroes team, to be honest, especially because the active skill turn through. We need like a Super Saiyan 4 actual, like maybe mainstream team or a new partner for this guy. Like a new full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And then maybe he'll be looking better, but I don't know. I feel confident in this. I like this. In terms of tiers, again, I would say probably these 4, honestly. And then what I just do like the rest of these guys in another tier, I guess so. I don't know. I feel like, honestly, I've seen some people say this, and I kind of don't agree. So I will probably separate them. I'm done. Thanks for watching, y'all. 27 minutes. I didn't expect it to get this long. I'll catch you guys next time.